Welcome, Dilly, welcome. Welcome, welcome. It's Knowledge and Ignorance live. The Knowledge and Ignorance live stream. I'm here on Planet Rebus. Multiple streaming across the Knowledge and Ignorance YouTube channel. Planet Rebus. It's also on Twitch, Mixer, and D Live. I think that's it. And maybe in the future Pornhub. Now, I just want to bring something up because someone's very upset. Okay, so people have been upsetting a man. A man is upset. He's very upset. People have been bloody mean to this geezer, and I don't know why they've been mean to him. His name is, sorry, I got rid of my phone because I can't remember how to pronounce it. Tedros Adhanom. You might know him as the Director General of the World Ho Organization. Now I know you're thinking, don't you mean the World Health Organization? No. They are hoes. He is the bottom bitch of the bottom bitch organization. And quite, all props to him because, if anyone's going to get a rich daddy, the second most richest nation on planet Earth is a pretty good daddy to have. But people have been bloody mean to him. Oh, they've been right buggers, they have. Oh, the mean things. You see, apparently, people have been racist towards old Tedros. But he's had enough of it. That's right. They've said mean racial things to him. Who? Taiwan, apparently. Now, is there any evidence of this? Well, there doesn't need to be, does there? There doesn't need to be any evidence of this because everything they say doesn't require evidence at all. In fact, they just sort of ignore evidence. And they are the people we should be listening to and looking up to. So therefore, we don't need evidence, do we? Because evidence is not required. Especially when people are just being bloody mean to someone. Oh, the meanies. Stop being such buggers to him. Now, of course, Tedros says all of this with no irony whatsoever. I mean, some would say, I'm not saying I would say such things, but some would say, people saying mean things to you isn't quite as bad as, passing off propaganda from your pimp. That has led to, how many deaths is it now? Is it hundreds of thousands yet? I just can't keep up, can you? I expect it is, isn't it? It's probably a lot of people dead, discounting all the Chinese. There's probably a lot of people dead. So, which is worse? Someone making off-color comments about your race, or lying to the world and lots of people dying. Well, you know where I stand on this. I think that saying mean racial things is the worst one. I mean, who are these people that said these mean things? I don't know. Did it actually happen? It doesn't matter, does it? Because it's not what actually happened. It's what they said that happens. That's been apparent all along. It's, the most important thing is what they say and not what is actual reality. Okay? Reality isn't important right now. Death, disease, corruption, these are all real things and they aren't important. What is important is what he says. That's what's important. Let us not forget that. That's the most important thing. That's right. Picture the scenario, Yeah, here's an example. So say you stab your friend, several times. I'm not talking, I'm not talking a happy, jovial, friendly banter stabbing. You've all done the happy, jovial, friendly banter stabbing. You stab them in the arm, stab them through the ear. You're like, ha 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 ha. You just stabbing arms and stabbing hands, stabbing ears and shit. No, not like that. Not fun stabbing. So I'm talking, an actual stabbing. There was malice and intent behind the stabbing. Maybe you stabbed them in the spleen. I know someone got stabbed in the spleen. Saved their life. They haven't fucking thanked me for it. Well, that's for you. Anyway, so stabbed in the spleen, maybe in the lung, or God forbid in the heart or the throat, and they're bleeding all to death, sort of gargling on their own blood on the floor. Like, oh, I'm dying. And then they say, I'm dying, you fucking honky-faced twat. What did you say to me? Then the police come round, they're like, oh, what happened here? He's been stabbed. That's awful. But the person who stabbed him, let's say that person's you. You stabbed them, right? I didn't stab him. You fucking stabbed them, so you can fucking fess up for what you did. The person that stabbed him says, so, he called me a honky-faced fuck. Saying, that's just plain out of order. Saying, well, you did stab him. What? No. Yeah, but, called me a honky? I don't know. Some lunatics out there would say that, you stabbing your friend is worse than what he said to you. Well, those people are idiots, aren't they? We shouldn't listen to people like them. It's your feelings being hurt that is the most important thing. That's what's important, and I think we should all just recognise that, And I, for one, will be, I don't know, doing my own fundraiser for Tedros, raising funds to help unhurt his feelings. I don't know what, but money helps. I know that Tedros loves money, so money above everything, above, mortality of human beings, respect, self-respect. He loves money above all these things. Do you know what I mean? He's just that kind of guy. Do you know what I mean? He'd have an AIDS-infested dildo kicked up his asshole if the price was right. He's a very noble, man who really believes in his core values. He lives by his core values, which is cash money. So I know that if enough money was raised for Tedros, then it would ease any unhappiness in his life, just ask the price and we'll try and raise the money. How am I going to raise this money? I don't know. I'll do some sort of, maybe I'll do a 24-hour stream dressed as a pangolin, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'll, maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I could just massacre animals whilst they're alive on stream for 24 hours and accept donations. And then all the money can go to Tedros, and I'll share out a link so everyone can donate money to Tedros. The limit, the minimum amount is going to have to be $100, because he needs a lot of money, to ease his upsetness. Because whether or not people did say mean things to him, Oh, sorry, I've completely forgotten. Oh, God, yeah. No, I've got this all completely back to front. Oh, who cares? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Who cares? Who cares what anyone said to him, isn't it? Isn't that... that's the main point, isn't it? I mean, who actually gives a shit? Okay? I don't care. I don't care. I really couldn't care less of... people are going to say mean things about him because it's justified. Now, if they drop racial epithets or whatever... that's out of order. But I'll tell you what's more out of order. Let's really break this down, isn't it? Racial violence and racial persecution and genocide. These are all very bad things. Racial persecution. Saying dumb racist things because you're angry at a person who's so fucking corrupt that half the world might die, I think is tolerable. I don't know. You call me fucking crazy, but I think in the grand scheme of things, who gives a shit? Because that's right. That's right. Because real racial injustice and real racial discrimination would be what's going on in... Where's that fucking place? They eat bats and pangolins in China. Oh, yes. From orders... Now, I'm not talking about Chinese people. I'm talking about orders from the top down. From the beloved CCP. From the Chinese Communist Party. I don't know if you've seen the videos of a bunch of Africans who have all been turfed out of their homes because apparently dirty foreigners are the ones responsible for spreading diseases around. Oh, how things change in so short a time. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that. Based on the colour of their skin. It isn't the first time that Africans have been horrifically persecuted in China, but they're being persecuted now. Now, maybe it's not as bad as what's going on with the Uyghurs, but it's still quite bad that, it's like, get out of your homes. I don't know if they can fly out of China and go back to wherever they are from in Africa. It's just all Africans as well. You may be thinking, yeah, but you're just saying all Africans. Yeah, well, that's what they've just gone, are you African? All right, get out. Doesn't matter where, which bit, who cares? Get out. You're dirty. You've got diseases. That's what they've done. I would argue, now call me fucking a lunatic. You might say, hey, have you been sniffing glue for breakfast? Oh, maybe I have. But I don't know. I just think booting out Africans from their homes and telling any kind of foreigner that they're not allowed to come into some place because they're spreading the disease that we spread upon them. Now that is real racial injustice. That's real racial persecution. And who's talking about this? I haven't seen LeBron James piping up. I haven't seen Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. I haven't seen any of these lunatics on TV that say coronavirus discriminates against people of colour more than anyone else. It's like, okay, what the fuck's that about? Okay, maybe it's got something to do with cultural differences. Who knows? Well, that's an argument for another time. But I haven't seen any of these condemn what's going on with Africans in China right now. I don't know, have you? I mean, I haven't. Oh, everyone seems to shut up. Oh, and Tedros. I forgot Tedros. He's Ethiopian, isn't it? Oh, well, where's the outrage about the racial abuse committed against the people of your continent? Oh, yeah, they haven't got enough money to pay for your sorrows. Maybe that's what it is. This is new levels of just... it's that ridiculous. And it makes me that angry that I'm just like, That's the only reaction I can have right now. Because I can't fly out to find the guy and punch him in the face. I'm not going to take it out on my stuff. I'm not 14 anymore. I'm, going to hit stuff. The only possible thing was just to knock him out. I mean, just shut up. And knocking him out isn't enough. But it'd probably make a lot of people feel better. I mean, why are people out there setting fire to 5G towers and not throwing bricks at UN offices and World Health Organization members? I mean, I'm not encouraging you to do it. I'm just saying, why are you not? Why are you? I just don't understand why you'd set fire to a tower. But, I mean, what's wrong with you? You're fucking crazy. So there you go. I mean, just like, it's just mind-bogglingly like going, but think about my feelings. After I told everyone that there's no human-to-human transmission. Don't wear masks. Don't. This is the second time they've used racism to fucking deflect from the fucking matter at hand. Like, oh, don't ban any Chinese flights. That's a bit racist. And now it's, oh, don't be mean to me, the person that's responsible for loads of deaths. Don't be bloody mean to me. I mean, what is this? What kind of age are we living in? Where you can't walk up to Milosevic and go, you're a bit of a cunt, mate. Do you know what I mean? Or go up to Hitler and say, hey, you're a bit of a fucking, you're a bit of a kraut wanker, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? Is that bad? I mean, if someone called Hitler, you fucking inbred kraut bastard. I mean, that's some xenophobic shit right there. But would anyone really quibble about the fucking terminology that you use? Going, you kraut bastard. Do you know what I mean? Is it that? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's like what I said to him and what he did to... Who are they again? Who are those people? The Jews. I forgot about the Jews. God, everyone forgets about that, don't they? I don't know. I just call me... Like I said, you say, whoa. What you been powdering your face with? Fucking ketamine? Would you brush your teeth with PCP? Look, bro, I'm fucking throwing it out there. Call me fucking crazy, I don't know. On the other hand, some of you might be like mad worried about stuff. You might be thinking, oh God, I'm locked indoors and I can't go outside and shit. Oh my God, everything's fucking terrible and things. You get me? Oh no. I get you. Fact is, there's a lot of people out there spoiling it for everyone. Mainly the police, though. Let's not beat around the bush. there are certain levels of lunacy that are going on right now that really need to be sort of addressed. One thing is, I've seen videos of police telling people in their own front yards to go back inside. Fuck off. Don't do that. Now, they did quash it, but there was talk, of searching people's shopping baskets to make sure they were buying essential items. Do you know what? I don't give a shit what you go out and buy with your time that you're allowed outside. I mean, the time you're allowed outside. Because I don't care. Like, fine, go out and buy whatever you want. Who gives a fuck? If you can go buy it, buy it. If they've got it, buy it. There's a fucking economy going on here. Oh, you shouldn't be buying that. It's non-essential. Yeah, I've got the money to buy it, and I'm going to fucking buy it. What's your problem? I'm not going to cough on it and put it in people's faces. It's ridiculous. Now, some people are acting a bit ridiculous. I don't know. I read something that they turned around like 500 caravans headed to the south coast for Easter weekend. It's like, all right, mate. I'm kind of getting this whole thing, innit? But you got to remember this. Just stay inside for longer, because if people are fucking stupid, then then I expect they'll die, And I said, yeah, but they're going to spread it onto other people. Then they'll spread it onto other stupid people. If you're not stupid, you won't bump into them. Just avoid stupid people. I've tried to avoid stupid people for decades now, It's just something you've got to do. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, everyone's talking about the data. They're saying, what's the data on, I keep saying about the data on how it's affecting ethnic minorities and the age groups and blood types and blah, blah, blah. No. I don't give a shit about any of that, and neither should you. The only thing we need to give a shit about is, and this is data that's very hard to fucking find. For one, how did you catch it? How do you think you caught it? How do you think you caught it? Because I've seen the reports that are out here in Vietnam, because there haven't been many cases, reported cases. Like the one that happened in Da Nang, like from one of the super spreaders. The super spreaders. But actually, the original super spreader was a Vietnamese Instagram bitch. It's Instagram. Anyway, but, the report is, and the girl that caught it in a shop selling SIM cards, and said she removed her mask at one point to talk to the guy, and that's, she thinks that's how it happened, because they've traced all of this shit. So it'd be interesting to know, saying, how do you think you caught it? Do we need contact with anyone? But the most interesting thing, and the most important thing about the spread of the communist pangolin flu, the most important thing that we need to know is how many people that have caught it and died from it, or just caught it, are fucking stupid. This is what we need to know, because then there'll be some sort of hope for us all. Because if maybe this is the disease that was just sent to, when it's going to level the playing field and go, do you know what? In the end, evolution will work its way out, do you know what I mean? This is progress. This is, survival of the fittest. Eventually, the weak will be just eradicated for whatever reasons it may be. Like silly animals, like dodos and shit, you know what I mean? They're just stupid. They're like nonculuses. You ever seen those fish that swim backwards and bump into stuff? Pathetic things. I mean, what the fuck is their purpose? You don't even eat them. I mean, they're still going, but I think eventually they're all going to die out, because it's like, I'm too pointless to live. I'm just wondering, how many people are dead that were fucking stupid. This is what we need to know. But it's going to be very hard to find the fucking data, isn't it? And everyone's too busy trying to save lives and stuff, when we all just want to know, these are the things that I want to know. I want to know how many fucking stupid people are dead, and I want to know when the Premiership's back on. These are the kind of things I want to know about. I don't really care about anything else. You know what I mean? Oh, and when I can get back into Thailand to see my girlfriend would be quite useful, to be honest. But apart from that, everything else can fuck off. I just want to know how many of these people are fucking stupid, because that's very important, I think. Because then you can work out, going, well, they were dumb. I mean, I've seen some dumbassery today from bloody foreigners like myself. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, this is why we're getting funny looks and people are doing this. That shit's annoying. But it's like going, yeah, but I have seen them carry on. Oh, I mean, walking in the shop where it says, please wear a mask. This girl's just got a mask off, just yapping. She walked like this fucking close to me. All the regulations are put in around here, do you know what I mean? And especially when you're in a foreign country, The kind of, you don't want to be messing with police in a country like this. You want to get in one of their filthy jails. I mean, our jails are bad enough, but I expect these ones are terrible. Do you know what I mean? I've heard you can't get a Wi-Fi hotspot anywhere. Anyway, do you know what I mean? So it's like, these dumb motherfuckers. Well, let them die, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? I mean, just fuck it. At this point, who cares? It's like, well, just let the idiots die, innit? Let all the fucking idiots die. And I know what you're thinking, well, no one's going to watch Love Island and shit then, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I know, man. I know. But it sucks. You know, Ed Sheeran won't sell any more records. Do you know what I mean? That'd be fucking shit. Well, that'd be great, so who cares? You know, I mean, one thing we're like, well, there'll be no one left to go on Jeremy Kyle. Well, Jeremy Kyle's been cancelled, bro. So it doesn't matter, does it? There's no place left for idiots now. Do you know what I mean? So we need to know. We need the data. We need the data because I've got theories. I've got fucking theories. All right? I mean, it'd be a fucking travesty if like 60% of people were like switched on and doing everything they could and just died because of idiots. Or it's like, you know, 80% of people that died were idiots. You know, the people going, well, I didn't know you couldn't do that. Do you know what I mean? Just get on the tube, coughing in people's faces, licking toilet seats, fucking wearing a pair of gloves and eating munchies and then touching it. Do you know what I mean? Just people just being complete bellends. Maybe they're all dead or in hospital. Do you know what I mean? Maybe some of them killed their nans, which is tragic. But at least they're fucking, no, not the nans, but at least the idiots might be dead. Do you know what I mean? This could be a really big positive to come out of it. Or maybe they're all paedophiles or something. I don't know. There's got to be something good coming out of it. Imagine that if everyone had turned out dead and it was some sort of amazing grand plan by, you know, a higher being. It was like, or aliens and shit, or interdimensional fucking mechanical elves, machine elves from the interdimensions. And just said, you know what, right? We've got a list of fucking nonces and potential nonces. And we've got this disease that's going to fucking kill them all. And if you catch it, you'll be alright, but the nonces are going to die. You know, something like that. Something good. Just something good. Wouldn't that be nice? You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that be fucking, wouldn't that be a nice thing? We can only hope, I suppose. We can only fucking hope. Anyway, if we can have a look at a ting and a ting. What have I bloody got here? Because speaking of fucking absolute nonsense, I've got a couple of things I just want to look over with your fine selves, if you don't mind. You know, why can't I pick out that option? Yeah, I'm still not 100% convinced about this Streamlabs desktop. Yeah, speaking of the whole narrative about China and so forth, you got something from, I don't know what's going on here. Why can't I see this thing? What's that all about? Oh, I know. Okay. Can't blame the program, I can only blame my stupid self. Anyway, here's an article in The Guardian of all places. You know, I was saying in my podcast, you know, this is it. Clown World is cancelled. Clown World's over, man. Everything's fine. No, the clownery is still going on. There's still people who are trying to blame Russia for everything when, in fact, they should be doing what I fucking said all along. But these people are shills. Guardian is by no means any exception. I mean, look, right? I don't know who Andrew Liu is. Andrew Liu or Leo or Liu. I did try to like research him because apparently he's written a book, but there isn't that much about him online. So I don't know who this geezer is. I can't, like... There's not much I can... Insights into what he is, whether he is some sort of fucking... propaganda mouthpiece or whatever, but this is they're still trying to sell this shit months later. Blaming China for coronavirus isn't just dangerous, it misses the point. Alright, okay, maybe in these times we shouldn't be blaming anybody. But this is where it gets choppy, and this is where you see Chinese misinformation being spread openly by a British newspaper, which is essentially, I don't know what you could say. It's a fucking disgrace. That's what it is. It's a fucking disgrace. So, actually, this pandemic is a creature of capitalist globalization, not any single country. Chinese culture is a convenient scapegoat. Okay, well, let's break this down for a second. Okay, before this gets too crazy. It's not just the Chinese culture of eating weird animals that people have a problem with. We're kind of past all that. The bat suit meme was months ago. People are talking about pangolins now. Now it's kind of come out, some weird experiments going on in a laboratory involving bats with blood flying everywhere, like the beginning of a fucking horror film. These are the kind of things that people are concerned about now. The whole... I don't know why they're bringing this up again now. Okay. Why? Okay. When people are talking about China, we're not talking about the Chinese anymore, as we shouldn't be. We're talking about the Communist Party. Okay, right. That's why people are calling it the CCP virus now. Do you get it? For politicians in the US and Western Europe seeking to distract from their own disastrous mismanagement of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, as I read that first line, I can't help but feel blood boil within me. Like, when you're real angry and you're just like... Have you ever got so angry with a toaster you've headbutted it until it's broken to pieces? I never have, but I've done it to other machines, so you might know what I'm saying. Listen to this bullshit. For politicians in the US and Western Europe seeking to distract from their own disastrous mismanagement. Okay. Let's not forget the disastrous mismanagement of the Chinese government. The disastrous advice given to the world by the World Ho Organization because their rich daddy had kicked a dildo so far up their fucking ass they don't even know how to think straight anymore. Can we just acknowledge these aspects? You want to talk about disastrous mismanagement and the spread of propaganda? This is in The Guardian. I mean, The Guardian have done some egregious things over the last few years. I mean, look, the Daily Mail are terrible. They've been making everyone so scared that there's probably some people who've chopped their own heads off at this point. Or poured cement into their nose so they don't breathe anymore, so they don't contract the virus. But The Guardian, their official propaganda piece for a foreign government, a tyrannical foreign government, right now. That's all I can gather from this so far. That's horrendous. Well, who the fuck up? Like, where do you get off? Do you know what I mean? You spreading. Look at the people that keep spreading and the continuation of the narrative of Russian influence, the pantomime villains of planet Earth. These are the fucking... You want to talk about using the terms enemy of the people? What the fuck is this? I mean, totally serious. I'm trying to make jokes and shit, but like, this is a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. And I would implore anybody who has been affected by this whole debacle to turn your attention where it should be turned to. Have Western governments been a bit poo about this? Yes. But also, the people have been very poo about it as well, because no one can take any fucking responsibility for themselves. Because the nanny state. The state has turned you all into babies. You know, I read the article. The people that were repatriated to the UK from Bolivia were like, oh, but no one told us whether we should self-quarantine or not. Can you not make decisions for yourself, you fucking child? What is the matter with you? God, this is... Should I continue this? It's upsetting me a little. It's triggering me a little. That's all right. Okay, the beauty of blaming China lies in its ambiguity. Are critics merely condemning the way of the Communist Party? Yes. Concealed information during those crucial January weeks. Both liberals and conservatives in the US, including Donald Trump, have used this defense. Or is the clear subtext that the real culprits are the Chinese people and their exotic culture and habits? Right, there's nothing exotic about eating bats and pangolins. It's not very exotic. Exotic is flavours, An explosion of exotic flavour. A durian fruit. Not the ingredients for Grot Bags' breakfast. Anyway, leave it to Nigel Farage to clumsily play both sides, claiming both that he held no ill will against the Chinese people, but the problem lay with the appalling hygiene conditions in Chinese wildlife markets. Yes, and the customary diets of bats and pangolins. Whatever the intentions, we now see how criticisms of China have translated into an upsurge of racist violence aimed at the Chinese and Asian diaspora living in the US, Western Europe, and Oceania. How many actual incidents have you heard of that have been that fucking bad? And if you want to talk about tit for tat, well, let's bring it back to what I was talking about earlier, about the persecution of anyone who isn't Chinese going on in China right now. With the countless Africans who have been turfed out of their fucking homes with nowhere to go because they say that they're carrying coronavirus. The fact that a lot of Westerners aren't allowed in restaurants or in hospitals. Okay, do you think Western countries do that to people? As you could be the biggest fucking left-leaning social justice lunatic going, and you're going to realise that no, that doesn't happen. Okay, this is complete nonsense. They're still trying to spin this narrative of criticisms towards China as having underlying racist undertones. That's absolutely insane. Are you insane? Are you fucking mad? What is the matter with you? What? Anyway, let's carry on. I applaud the liberal condemnation of these attacks as xenophobic, but also worry that vague cries of tolerance for Chinese people and culture play into the racist framing of the right, in which we wind up debating identity and difference at the expense of dynamic historical processes. Any serious attempt to grapple with China's role in the pandemic must also consider the specific political economic conditions of China's ascent within the global market in recent years, which facilitated the virus's spread as well as planting the seeds for an Euro-American backlash. I don't think that's proper grammar. Let's take the claim that the novel coronavirus was caused by a culturally peculiar fondness for eating pangolins. Though it is true that pangolin scales and meat are advertised as a sort of folk medicine in mainland China, statistics suggest the real key variable are the effects of globalization. Wow, I just feel like I've been slapped round the face by a fish covered in chloroform. Oh, what the fuck is going on here? So let's take the claim that it was caused by a peculiar fondness for eating pangolins. But statistics suggest the key variable are the effects of globalization. Oh, wow. Okay. So I see. Right. Which have enriched the country's business classes. Nice try, dickhead. Prices of the animal have climbed from $14 a kilo in 1994 to more than $600 today, while illegal shipments confiscated at the border regularly exceed 10 tons Customers ordering wildlife often do so in order to flaunt their wealth or to celebrate a good day on the stock market, although they remain a minority. Most Chinese citizens support strict limits, if not a ban, on wildlife consumption. Resurgent pangolin consumption is thus a result of economic liberalization in China, which the US championed, not simply of traditional culture. Oh, wow. How could you turn this all to be an anti-capitalist message amongst all this? When from what I've heard is, now forgive me if I'm wrong on this, but like there was a famine in China in the 70s and 60 million people died because of communism? I don't know. That's quite a lot, isn't it? And then because there was no food, they lifted restrictions on the import of, and the consumption of exotic animals. And there's the old saying, I believe, that the sun can shine on its back, you can eat it. If it has 4 legs and the sun shines on its back, you can eat it. Something like that. That doesn't count toddlers, by the way. Babies. You know what I'm saying? And because of the horrors of communism and socialism, that years and years later, people have got into this habit of consuming bats and pangolins, and therefore have maybe contracted that disease, even though actually what people are saying is that this experiment's going on in a laboratory in Wuhan is actually the cause of it. So why are we even still talking about this about the theory that is now being poo-pooed in favour of some weird experimentations going on with fucking bats? I don't know. Maybe it's a distraction. Oh, my God. Yes, of course. Oh, forgive me. But I didn't know capitalism was responsible for the communist famine that was caused in the 70s. I didn't know that. Fucking hell, I must have sniffed way too much glue for breakfast, Well, fancy that. And most Chinese support strict limits, if not a ban on wildlife consumption. Yeah, so the consumption of pangolins is because of filthy capitalists wanting to flaunt their wealth by eating something that looks absolutely revolting. Of course. Right. I see. It was these same economic forces that also hastened the spread of the virus overseas. Oh, really? Wuhan, where the virus originated, originally served as a hub between coastal metropolises such as Guangzhou, Shanghai, and inland China. Although considered a second-tier city, even Wuhan has been caught up in the latest phase of globalization as capital pursues cheaper land and labor markets inland. During February and March, cases of the novel coronavirus illuminated economic linkage long hidden from view, such as Chinese investments into infrastructure in Iran, ties between Wuhan's car parts industry and factories in Serbia, South Korea, and Germany. The coronavirus may have first appeared in China, but the ensuing spread and crisis also belonged to the global assemblage of commerce, tourism, and supply chains erected by powerful interests in the 21st century. Oh, so it's everyone's fault for wanting to explore the world and other cultures. Oh, I see. This is interesting that this is in a Guardian article that's very pro-China. So what you're saying is an end to globalization and closing all borders. Is that what you're saying? I see. Okay, right. The great irony of blaming some vague notion of Chinese culture is that the best responses to the pandemic have come from the ethnic Chinese majority governments of Taiwan. Yes. Right, I see what you're trying to do there. Make Taiwan and China the same thing. Yes, they aren't ethnically Chinese, but China and Taiwan are separate nations. That's what most people understand, except certain people. So, what the fuck are you trying to say? And it goes on about Singapore and Hong Kong. Yes, their responsible policies were due largely to the trauma of the 2003 SARS epidemic, but also have to do with the history of robust welfare states in East Asia, which, unlike Europe and the US, have increasingly invested in healthcare infrastructures to deal with precisely such cries. Yeah, well, explain Vietnam then, bitch, because they're doing pretty fucking well too. Okay, to push back on the anti-China line is not to apologize or defend the state's actions. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. It is clear that local officials were wrong to silence Dr. Li Wenliang. Now, this is very interesting because I've been following this for a very long time, and I've been following people that are experts in China. I knew how this was going to play out fucking months ago. And what they did was, now this is all out there. Don't just take my word for it. Is that they used the Wuhan officials as a scapegoat because it was the Chinese government that called it the Wuhan virus in the first place. Not the Chinese virus, not the coronavirus, the Wuhan virus. So therefore they call it the Wuhan virus. So you think of Wuhan, that's where the virus comes from. And they threw everybody under the bus that was in charge of Wuhan. Everybody. Held them responsible. That's the narrative they sold. To blame it all on the local officials of Wuhan. Not the state, not the whole state as a whole, just Wuhan. And in this article, they are trying to establish that lie. They're trying to reinforce that narrative all these months later. Astonishing. It is clear that local officials were wrong to silence Dr. Li Wenliang, a fucking hero who was dead, who alerted friends about the virus as early as possible, and that the government has consistently downplayed the virus's contagiousness and the severity of deaths. Oh, so you have mentioned the government again. But is the contrast between authoritarian and democratic regimes so stark, as Western ideologies allege? Most observers agree that China covered up the crisis of Wuhan for 3 weeks in January, and this lost time probably decided the difference between a local versus a global epidemic. Nevertheless, it is still sobering to read reports that even from mid-January, other governments took even longer to respond. The UK dragged its feet for an interminable 8 weeks, and the US ignored clear warning signs for 70 days. Well, no, they banned flights in from China and called racist, as far as I can remember. And Taiwan banned flights and Vietnam banned flights. Because you know why they did that? Because they said, fuck your feelings, we don't want our people to die. This inactivity was partly the product of Western exceptionalism that believed viruses and epidemics only happen over there, in poor and non-white countries. No, it happens in China, which is an exceptionally rich country, so I don't think that's something that people believe. They just think that, I mean, let's face facts. We've been told about bird flu, SARS, swine flu. Right, I know that's from the other side. Remember all these Ebola, all these diseases that start out in wacky places, and then it never happens, and it never reaches the UK. There's never a massive pandemic outside of certain regions. That's why. Because it's always like, yeah, bullshit, not this again. Because of the fear factors. Because the fear tactics stirred up by the fucking media that has numbed us to all this fucking shit. So if you're going to blame anyone, don't blame the government. Don't blame the people, blame the media. And the World Health Organization and the Chinese government. Right, this is a crucial point for challenging anti-Asian racism. Rather than debate the blame game, as Justice's global director Tobita Chow has written, we should point out how short-sighted nationalist perspectives have produced facially ineffective responses. No, that's bullshit. Nationalist perspectives. Vietnam said, fuck everyone else, it's about our nation. Doing well. Taiwan. Fuck everyone else, it's about our nation. Doing well. Close the borders. Doing well. Fuck what other countries think. Doing well. Doing well. What is it? During Italy's worst weeks, officials admitted they initially viewed the Wuhan crisis as a science fiction movie that had nothing to do with us. In the US, a Kansas politician stated that his town was safe because it only had a few Chinese residents. Yes, these people are all idiots, but you're an idiot too. You're all idiots. And, as I was saying earlier in the stream, I just want to see the data on how many idiots are dying from coronavirus, and is it just a higher percentage of idiots that are dying? And I'm going to put money on that, you being one of them. In Philadelphia, in a more tragic offshoot of racial thinking, rumors circulated that the virus could not infect black Americans because it was a Chinese disease. Now, what are you trying to say about the black community exactly? Ultimately, both the pandemic and the accompanying anti-Asian backlash are dynamics that go beyond the question of culture and xenophobia, carrying serious life and death consequences. Both are indirect byproducts of China's emergence as a major force in global capitalism, not only forgiving the supply chains and travel networks that conveyed the virus, but also threatening Euro-America's centuries-long economic and political prestige. In the US, such fears were already manifest in populist claims that China alone, and not the domestic political and business class, was to blame for the loss of manufacturing jobs. Well, globalization did sell it all out. In the wake of a referendum result seen as a vote against globalization, anxieties in the UK have recently been manifest in a panic over Huawei providing the country's 5G network. Well, there are legitimate concerns about Huawei, isn't there? Let's face facts. Fears, forget the 5G network, but Huawei, yes. Oh, fears over China were not created by coronavirus, but find in it a most apt metaphor as a global and invisible force of destruction. What? It follows that these dangerous sentiments will not automatically disappear when a vaccine is created, unless we demand more than liberal appeals for tolerance. We need to also recognize and confront the political, economic forces behind the West anti-China backlash and the inadequacy of nationalism in responding to the social and public health crisis facing us today, which are on a global scale. The inadequacy of nationalism. Well, no, it wasn't the inadequacy of nationalism. It was the lack of implementation of nationalism that caused the fucking problem. Don't you think? Just look at the examples of the people who just went, fuck the world, we're saving ourselves. And, the anti-China backlash. Do you know why there's anti-Chinese sentiment? If you need to ask yourself why there is, Just look at the scoreboard. Just look at everything that's been going on, and ask yourself, why do people have an aversion towards China right now, and for the past few years? Just look at everything that's happened. And you're like, well, why is everyone like this? It's like, are you fucking mental? Have you ever done business? Have you ever engaged? Like, what the fuck? That's why I put it, I would straight up say that this is, it's not full-blown in-your-face propaganda, but this is the constant pushing of that narrative that these authoritarian fucking regimes want pushed across the world, being helped spread by The Guardian, because it's all part of the same thing. No, it's the first tactic they go to. They don't accept responsibility for their actions, and then they go after other people, blame it on them, saying no, it's their fault, they're racist, they're mean to us. It's such a Chinese tactic to blame foreigners and call them xenophobic. It's a very Chinese tactic. What can I say? I've experienced it my fucking self. Like, what do you want from me? Not to tell the truth? It's the lack of telling truth that has gone on here, and to turn around and start blaming other governments for the stupidity of most people. And yes, I would say in the Western world, in Europe, there's been a certain amount of arrogance that they are now. They're paying the price for that arrogance, but at the same time, they're going. I mean, China covered it up, but the UK was kicking its heels for 8 weeks anyway, so what does it matter? It's like, what does it fucking matter? Transparency. We were told it wasn't even, at that point in time, we were told there wasn't human-to-human fucking transmission. You remember that shit? Shame on you. Right, I'll be right back. I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll end this stream with a little bing bang bong, and then we'll be done for the night. Back in 3. Anyway, let's carry on with some fucking ignorant shit. I seen a video put up on Facebook earlier, shared to SoundCloud music group of all places. You do get some people who just don't want to share music on that group. Like 40,000 people in that group on Facebook. I'm just still in it because every now and again, I don't share no music or nothing anymore, but like, sometimes you find some real nuggets, conspiracy theories, and some jail shit. I found some jail. I mean, this video is fucking fascinating. I'm pretty sure it's not fake, as far as I know. If it is fake, then it's gonna have to have a fucking high budget. Like, yeah, what's this? Mop from Malta was here. Over here. You should read the new chat rules. Like, I'm not always reading chats. What is it? Mop from Malta, if you are out there, I will reply to you in text form as well, just so you know. Like I say, is calling the coronavirus the Chinese virus wrong, yes or no? Yeah, it is wrong. And I'll tell you this. Right, Mop from Malta, I'll tell you why it's wrong. You should call it the CCP virus. This is the official name that dissenters call it. There you go, I've typed in CCP virus. Chinese Communist Party virus. The CCP named it the Wuhan virus. That's the name they gave it. Then in turn, people are calling it the Chinese virus because it came from China. But no. Call it what it is, the CCP virus. End of story. Alright. Calling it the Chinese virus isn't that wrong either, because it started in China. Spanish flu started in Spain. Like, alright, Mop from Malta, if I'm still on, I'll see you later. Take care, my friend. You know, it's a good point. Look, Spanish flu started in Spain. That's what they call it, the Spanish flu. You know, and that one fucking killed shitloads of motherfuckers. You know what I mean? MERS, which is Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, you know, which is a version of SARS as well, you know, that's the Middle East virus, if you like, you know what I mean? Who cares what it's, I mean, who cares what it, I mean, it does matter what it's called, but it's like, you know, call it the CC, when you call it the CCP virus, people can't be arguing with that shit, can they? Yeah, oh, that's mean. Mean to who? A tyrannical regime that persecutes its own people. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that offends you. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were such a fucking idiot to get offended by something like that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Right. Now, this is some fucking crazy shit. There's many interesting factors about this. I can't begin to anyway, just look. So this is a riot in an American jail, all coronavirus related. Okay, right. Oh.
We at LCF. This is what happens when CEOs want to try to do us wrong, knowing that they got this disease going around, and they're giving it to us, and they want to send us in here, and we can't do nothing. They won't let us take showers. They won't let us. They turned the water off. They won't let us do anything. They denying us food and stuff. So we tired of talking. We gotta do this.
I mean, off the bat, there are many questions. I mean, you know, it is a good opportunity because people have been talking about releasing people from jail. Like there's people in jail and they should just be let out. It's like, why? They're probably fucking safer in jail. You know, if there's talk of that going around, then be like, oh yeah, maybe it's a good opportunity to get out of fucking prison. Like, you know, Are they turning the water off? Not letting them shower? Are they being mean to them? I don't know. They're not really, but they're not really conducting themselves with social distancing rules, are they? Some are wearing masks, some aren't. He's there yelling in the camera, yelling in the face of the camera person, with his mask off, which is very irresponsible, and maybe that's why you're in jail, bro, but I don't know. But the most interesting thing about it, which I don't know if you've caught onto it, is that it appears that they're live streaming from jail. Now, I don't know about you, but how the fuck are you live streaming from jail? I mean, it's like, isn't that the question everyone should be asking? How are you live streaming from jail? Doesn't that go against all the rules, having a phone? And how have you got data in jail? Or is there Wi-Fi in jail? Like, I don't know. Like, what's going on? I mean, like, what is going on here? But anyway, look, these are proper jailheads as well.
You know what time it is? You know what?
No, this is now straight up. I've watched this once, and I got to that. I watched probably a minute after that point when it was like, I mean, that was too well timed, wasn't it? I was saying, you know what time it is? I mean, what a visual gag, eh? They're very creative. There's a lot of creativity going on in jail. I don't know if you know, but I don't know.
It's that time. It's war time. It's war time. Fuck LCM. Shit. Hold me. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit.
And like I said, if this was fake, probably the greatest fake video I've ever seen. I mean, this is highly elaborate. But people are rioting in jail. What's new? I mean, is there anything new? Not really. It's just one white boy just walking around. He's like, oh, he's like, oh, just one quiet white boy trying to mind his own business during a riot. I mean, it's not the kind of situation where you can really mind your own business, isn't it? When you're in a fucking prison riot, it must be very difficult to sort of try and stay out of it all when your entire, I mean, it's basically your house. It's where you live. It's been fucking totaled. Especially if someone starts doing a dirty protest as well. Then it's going to be like, shit. And it's going to go real bad, isn't it? Like, and I know the other point is, they're in jail already. So, like, baiting yourself up when you're in jail. But you still get in trouble, don't you? And they're all live streamed in jail. So it's like, well, you were live streaming in jail. You're not supposed to be able to do that, whilst also tearing the jail apart. I can imagine there'd be some sort of repercussions over this. You know what I mean? I'm just guessing. Like, stolen some clippers. They're going to start doing fades. They're having a riot, but they still got time to, chop a few sharp fades up in fucking jail. Life goes on. Got to get a good fade for when. Well, I'd imagine no one's allowed to visit during this time. Are you still allowed? This is the point. I mean, are you still allowed jail visitations right now under lockdown? What's the regulations for that? Jail visitations. Do you know what I mean? I haven't thought about that. Like, what's the rule? What's the regulations? You're supposed to keep a distance anyway on jail. I mean, it'd be one of those classic situations where they got the plexiglass. I mean, that'd be quite useful for visitations during this pandemic time, wouldn't it? Are you still allowed jail visitations? What's going on? Oh. He sounded scared as fuck, listen to it.
Well, use weapons, you gonna fade niggas up too, nigga. We taking fades, we getting fades. You gonna fade niggas up too, nigga. Hey, nigga, hold on, nigga.
For someone who's live streaming from jail, he sounded way more scared than he should be. Well, I thought they were gonna, start, having a nice pastime, giving each other lovely fades. But these just smashed the clippers up. Do you know what I mean? What are you gonna do now, boys? Fucking hell, you could have had a right good time, giving some comedy fades to each other and shit. But,
I already got glass in my ass. Hey, I need that motor out of that thing.
oh shit! Your man there just said, he's already got glass in his ass. Jail is horrible, isn't it? God. You know what's going on with this? Why is it fast forwarding? Whoa!
Oh shit! Oh, I put the microphone in the toilet. And where the mirror go?
Why'd they put the microphone in the toilet? Well, I guess it's a prison, right? There's no rules. I guess you do what you want. Now, boys, go for it.
Look, this shit is.
Now, look at him. He is styling out. Man, that is like two worlds colliding beautifully. Look at this guy. He's got prison riot and pandemic chic going on. Look at him. He's fucking owning this. Look at him. He's got the fucking red hound. He's got the face mask on, which gives him... He's a gang man, but he's also responsible, about not spreading viruses. He's got some rubber gloves on. Do you know what I'm saying? He's got some rubber gloves on. He's all kinds of things going on right now, this man has got the look of 2020 down to a T. This is the look. People in fucking 2030 will be looking back at 2020 going, hey, let's go back to that. Do you know what's in this spring? 2020 pandemic riot chic. That's what's in the spring. When you eventually start rioting because you're on lockdown for too fucking long, in about a month or so, that's when you're going to start rioting yourselves. Do you know what I mean? Because you'll want to go to the park. Do you know what I mean? Some of you are going to want to go see your mistresses and your side chicks. You'll be rioting like this too, but dress appropriately. Okay? Go for that riot chic. Up in there. I'm kind of guessing maybe he snatched the camera off that geezer and now we got a new cameraman. Oh, right. What's going on now, man? Alright, skip that.
Hey, Malik!
I see. He's trying to give himself some sort of protective layer of plastic. I don't think that's going to have much effect, my son. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, I have to say, I mean, the language coming from these jailheads is just isn't it? Oh, spicy language from all of them, isn't it? I say, talking like fishwives. And that looks like, I don't know, it looks like a white kid with Down syndrome there. He's dressed like it's 2002 and he's in a Nelly video. But fucking hell, what's going on? Him. And again, we've just got some white dude in the background. He really doesn't know what to do with himself. He's just like, oh, what am I doing? Like, you know, it seems to be an on-running theme. Look at that, white boys in a American prison riot are just completely useless. Useless. Where's the team? Where's the team spirit? Come on, let's go. And now we have someone else with a phone, who's obviously going on Instagram Live himself. I mean, how many Instagram Live fucking broadcasts are there from jail these days? There's a fucking lot. Do you know what I mean? These are the best live streams going out there. Jail streams. Fucking, especially when there's a riot going on. I mean, how are we going to compete with this kind of competition? Do you know what I mean? All IRLs right now are completely boring because everyone's fucking locked up in their own houses. But when you're locked up in jail, when you're locked up anyway and you're smashing the place, I mean, this is... No one's going to be able to compete with this kind of fucking content. Do you know what I mean? Shit. Game's changed. Shit. Jail streams, man. You can't compete with a jail stream. It's crazy in there. You see what they get up to in jail? It's horrendous. I mean, look at this. This is nuts.
Correctional facility.
What I do like about the term correctional facility is that I don't think any of these people have been corrected. Yeah. I guess jail doesn't work. What's going on? I mean, look at those bars on the windows. It's like a prison. It's terrible. What's going on?
Hey, I was throwing all this shit out the window, Alex. Hey, anybody know how to call Alex? You probably got press 9.
Yeah, shit. They are proper running riot, right? So they've broken into every office where, well, there's clearly no staff and there's no screws in there. There's no one in there. They've just left them all to it. They've probably all gone home. Well, fuck it. That's probably what they did. They just put around, do you know what? Fuck it. Let's just leave them to it. We'll be back in a week. No one cares anymore anyway. Who gives a fuck? Fuck him. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's bolted from this place.
Hey, y'all leave here, she does. She get nice.
What the fuck? That is kind of the thing with prison riots, though. It's like, yeah, we fucked the place up, but, oh yeah, we live here, innit? It's kind of like when you have a mad house party and then you fuck the place up and you're going, oh yeah, shit, I live here. Fuck, what am I doing? You know? But they haven't even got the excuse of being drunk. It's not like they're going to wake up in the morning with a hangover going, oh fuck, what did we do yesterday? Or they might wake up with like a rage hangover going, fucking hell, I saw red for like a week. I don't know what the fuck happened. But look at this place, it's a mess. I can safely say that, I mean, I've never seen a, like, prisoner POV video of a riot, of a prison riot going on before. I don't know if there's ever been, I've never seen it before. This is the first for me. I don't know if anyone's ever seen this kind of shit before, recorded like this before. Like, this is a new era, boy. Fucking hell. Like, this is, I'm captivated by this, like. And that's another thing about prison riots is, you know, there's all this stuff, and there's probably some idiot out there going, oh, bro, we smash it all up, you could sell that shit. Well, you can't, you're in jail, isn't it? What are you going to swap it for, a blowjob and a pack of cigarettes? Like, come on, man. I mean, that's not going to work, is it? I mean, they're treating this equipment like me at 13 when technology didn't work and I just used to smash it up because of an angry, fucked up teenager. But you know, these people in jail. Oh. Hello, fuck it. It's a bit harsh.
Nigga, motherfucker. One nigga died right here with the corona. This nigga, the nigga you sleep right here, he on life support. He about to die with the corona. I think the nigga that was up there died too.
This is the corona cell.
Yeah, what cell this is?
Corona cell. All four of them got fucking quarantine over it.
Now, if that is true, who fucking